Okay, I am so excited to bring you ladies this segment on the individual consultation. Now, when you do your individual consultation ahead of time, you should have already, of course, figured out where you're going to be doing that consultation. But at your spot, you want to have with you, of course, your accordion file. You want to have the half-sheet survey from each of your guests, which, of course, you're going to pick up as you collect them. You're going to have their profile card. You're going to have their lookbook. You'll also want to have their opinion poll with you, and also a color chart. Okay, all those things you'll need with you. You'll also need your date book, of course, and you'll need your money bag. And inside your money bag, you've got all kinds of great things. You want of course, have your calculator. You're going to have pens in there. I always have, of course, business cards. Your foundation conversion chart is going to be in there. I keep my little cheat sheet for the individual consultation right in my money bag, so it's ready to go. I have my order of applications in here to hand out to everyone. I run mine on bright pink paper. That way they can find it in their drawer. Okay, it doesn't disappear that way. And then, of course, you're going to have your sales tickets in here. And then you'll also want to be sure that you have your little note cards that you're going to give everyone who's taken advantage of the Beauty of a Friendship program. So you'll be able to give those to her, and you'll have those all there with you. Okay. Now, your individual consultation is a really important part, because this is the part where you really start developing the relationship with your clients. This is where you're going to be doing a lot of the bonding. They're going to be able to talk and ask questions that they maybe couldn't have done in the large group of women, or they maybe might have been embarrassed to as well. So this is a time that you're going to be bonding with everyone. So it's really important that you do this individual consultation. It's also very important that you keep it brief. Okay, no more than 7 minutes, ideally close to 5, because you know what, think about it, if you've got 6 guests there, that's an hour of individual consultations if you take 10 minutes. So you want to think about that, be mindful of that as you're working your individual consultation. Okay, now one of the things too is with this half-sheet survey, once you get good, you're going to see how easy it is to determine who are going to be your best prospects as team members, okay? And one of the things we're going to do too is you and I are going to individually talk about how to approach each of the people that you deal with these half-sheet surveys. So they're a very important part of your presentation and of your skincare class to allow you to know all of those things, okay? Now, when you get together with them, remember the ideal is that you're coming back to the table that they did their actual makeovers, and you're going to have them sit in the seat they were sitting in when they did their skincare. There's a whole psychological thing behind that, so that's your best thing. Now, if there aren't chairs for you to sit in or anything like that, you want to get down to eye level. So you're either going to sit down, or sometimes if there aren't any chairs, I kneel, because you want to be at their eye level or below. This isn't about a confrontation time. This, again, is a time for you to develop your rapport and keep things going that way. So once you sit down with them, you're going to first of all, of course, ask if there's anybody that's in a hurry to leave, and that's going to be the first person that you take. Or if nobody's in a hurry, you want to take the most excited person, because she's the one that's going to really set the pace for what happens with the rest of your individual consultations. So if she buys an I deserve it all, there's a very high chance that at least one or more will also, because she's going to talk them into it, okay? So what you'll do is you'll sit down with them. You're going to, of course, have their opinion poll, their profile card, and their half-sheet survey. Now, what I like to do is take a quick minute before they come over. I review their profile card, their half-sheet survey, and their opinion poll real quick, just so I know what they've answered and I can speak, you know, to what they're talking about. And this also lets me see what products that they might be interested in, additional needs that they might have. Okay, so once you've kneeled and you've gotten the right person, the first thing that I like to do is I like to do what I call personalizing their lookbook. So when I sit down with them, I'll sit down with them and I'll say, "Hi, Jane. Well, so good to spend the afternoon with you. Did you have some fun? Great. Did you learn some things you didn't know before? Wonderful. That is super." What I'm going to do real quick is just personalize your beauty book or your lookbook here. So I'm going to do that with first of all, we're going to circle your foundation shade here, okay? And then you used beige number 4. So here you go. We're going to circle that right there. And then also you had talked about that you had issues with dark circles and things like that. So some of the products that you might be interested in is, of course, our eye revitalizer. I know that you're concerned about, you know, you had mentioned you're concerned about fine lines and dark circles. For the dark circles, the dark spots, the Even Complexion Essence would be great for that. So I'm just going to tab this page over so you'll have that. And then also, you had mentioned that you've got a big vacation coming up. We've got some excellent, fun tinted lipsticks and tinted lip balms for you. And of course, our sunscreen products are great as well. Okay. So do you have any questions about any of that? Great. All right. So let's see. Your skin feels cleaner, more soft, wonderful, and whatever she writes down here, I'm going to chit-chat about it. If she doesn't write anything, for question number 3, I'm going to ask her about it, okay? Because question 1 through 3 is all about rapport. You want to pretend that there's big black lines that segregates or segments off your individual consultation, okay? The first 3 questions are about rapport building, so once you've done that, again, relatively quickly. Then you move on to question number 4, which is the one about which set they want to take home. And you're going to ask her, you're going to say, well, gosh, I noticed that I Deserve It All is the set that excites you the most. Most people check that. And they'll either say, yeah, or they'll say, yeah, that you said if money were no object, okay? So then you're going to want to just walk down to what it is she wants. Don't just jump. You're going to literally see what she can live without and start working it out for her. Ask, you know, offer her a payment plan, do things like that so that she can walk through that process of doing that. And then once you've asked her, once you've said, you know, gosh, you know, we've broken this set down, we're down to about $200, you know, 2 payments would be this, 3 would be that, then you be quiet, okay? Because the first person that talks is the one that takes the set home, okay? So once you ask her a question, you want to wait for her response. Now, it may feel like forever, but, you know, just wait and be quiet, okay? And you don't need to stare at her. In fact, you want to just sort of look down. After you ask a question, look down, because you don't want this to be a confrontational kind of thing. You want it to be a chance for her to make the decision, okay? Once she's decided, if she's kind of running slow and she's having a hard time picking colors, I like to just give them the color chart and say, you know what? Susie Q is in a hurry to get going, so why don't I have you go ahead and go on over there and you can select the colors that you like, and then we'll get back together and get that all locked down and get that all figured out, okay? So that's your question number 4. Then you're going to go on to question number 5, which is her checkup appointment. That's when you pick up your date book, not before. Now, what I like to do is also in my date book, I keep postcards of the upcoming events. So if for her checkup she wants to do the beauty bar, I can give it to her right away, and it's all right there. So you're going to pick up your date book, and then this is where it's important that you know your hostess plan. Of course, you should have, we talked about that before, you want to pick your hostess plan and know it like the back of your hand. So that when you book her appointment, you say, gosh, I noticed that microdermabrasion is the set that, you know, you really, really hated to leave behind. Well, let me tell you how you can get that for free or at a discount, depending on what your hostess plan is. And you're going to tell her exactly. You know, if you sell $275, you're going to get that microdermabrasion for free. You want to let her know what it's going to take for her to do that. So you're going to give her a hostess packet. You probably won't have time to go over it at that time. You want to schedule a time to get back with her so you can go over it over the phone with her. So you'll get that checkup appointment scheduled. Then you go on to question number 6. And if she checked yes or maybe, you for sure want to get with her within as fast as possible, ideally right after. I like to scope out to see where the nearest 24-hour diner is, kind of thing, and so I can meet with them right afterwards, or schedule a time within 24 to 48 hours, ideally, to get together with her and talk about it. If they check not at this time, that's part of where this little half-sheet survey comes in, because it helps you open the dialogue. You can say to her, gosh, you know, Nancy, I noticed that you're not interested in the business plan at this time, and oh my goodness, the extra money and the personal growth and having fun and career advancement was really important to you. Oh my gosh, you have 6 of the characteristics that make a successful consultant. Can I ask why? She'll give you some sort of an objection. There's a whole section on UnitNet on how to overcome that objection and how to take her on to the next step. And many times you can turn a not at this time into at least a maybe, so you can get together and talk to her about it, so she can make an intelligent decision. It's hard for them to decide if they don't have all the facts, right? So you'll go on to question number 6 and take care of that, all right? Now, this is the ideal of an individual consultation. There's going to be, depending on how many guests you have and how much time it is and how crazy it is, there may be times that you actually have to book their checkup with their follow-up call within 24 to 48 hours and talk to them about the business plan at that time. But the ideal is that you at least get the checkup appointment booked, okay? And then with filling out their sales ticket, what I like to do is I literally use my opinion poll as the list of what goes in there, and I just write the name of the set on the opinion poll and then whatever particular color selection she had. if she needed that, okay? The other thing that you can do once you get versed at it, when you're personalizing their lookbook, is you can literally make suggestions about color to help her with that selection choice. You can tell her, well, gosh, your contrast level is medium, and so these would be the recommended shades. What colors are in your wardrobe? What colors do you already have in your cosmetic wardrobe as far as what eyeshadows they already have? And then it's gonna be real obvious. There'll only be about 3 or 4 shades left, okay? So it gives her a lot of different options, and that will help her to make those choices when she's deciding on what eyeshadows and things like that to do, okay? Now, of course, like I said, in your courting file, you've got your hostess packets in here. Now, if she's not going to book, then you're going to talk to her about being a silent hostess, and that silent hostess packet's in there, and that's where she'll go and get orders and hand it out to her friends. And if she didn't participate in the Beauty with a Friendship, if she didn't give you any phone numbers, because when you book her appointment, you're going to flip this over and you're going to go, oh my gosh, you've got a great list here for of people to invite, okay? Or you'll flip it over and you'll say, oh gosh, you've got 3 people that you'd like to treat to a special the Beauty of Our Friendship program. And what you can do is you can expand that by saying, gosh, if you want to give me just 5 more or 6 more kind of thing, depending, then I'm going to give you a special gift just for doing that. All right? If she didn't do Beauty of a Friendship and she didn't book and she didn't do Silent Hostess, then you're going to turn it into a referral list. And the same thing, you're going to offer a wow gift if she gives you 5 or 10 phone numbers, again, depending on the situation, the caliber of the person that you're dealing with. So the referrals are what can make or break you, okay? Now, ladies, when you get really good at getting phone numbers from your name game and the Beauty of a Friendship program, that's when your business is going to get so simple, because those are the strongest leads that you will ever have. And about 60 to 90% of those appointments book and hold. They're very, very strong leads. So you want to get really, really good at picking all those names, okay? So the individual consultation is something you never want to skip. The tendency is to want to skip it when it's just it's a single person. You still want to go through the whole process, even if you have 1 person, okay? The other thing that's important is we mentioned checkup facial and we mentioned individual consultation during our skincare class at least 7 times. You never want to skip any of those, because it takes women 7 times for them to actually hear it. So by the time they're done with the class, they're going to be expecting their individual consultation. They're going to be expecting to get together for their checkup appointment with you. So you will have all of that groundwork already laid when you sit down to talk with her, and you'll be able to take it right through the process. All right? Once you've taken the order, booked the appointment, taken care of all the recruiting things, then, that would be question number 6, then you're going to ask her if she's in a hurry to leave or can she wait for you to get her products, okay? If she's in a hurry to leave, then you'll run out to the car, get her products, and come back in. Now, at that point, when I'm done with doing all the individual consultations is when I do my wardrobe change, okay? When I go out to the car, that's when I'm going to change back into my suit jacket, because what you want is your first impression and your last impression, of course, to be of a businesswoman. When you have your beauty coat on, you basically have your consultant or your skincare coach hat on. And when you put your suit back on, your suit coat back on, now you're the businesswoman. And women want to do business with businesswomen. So you want to have your last impression for them to be of you wearing your suit, okay? So ladies, that's your individual consultation. You want to listen to this over and over again and get really, really good at walking through the process and walking your guests through your individual consultation.